always here, but I think when we do it, it's such a nice buzz. It brings such a nice buzz to the centre. So I'm just sorry it's a bit cramped. We'd love to have a lift and then we could use more of the rest of the centre and things like that. But thanks for bearing with us. So I'm Melanie Jeffs. I'm the centre manager here. And just to tell you a little bit about my own learning journey and what I've done in my life, I was always very academic as a child. Always did really well at school. I think mostly by fluke actually, because I was always quite a lazy kid as well, so I don't know really how that happened. But I tended to do well, particularly in the subjects that weren't seen as girls' subjects, so science and maths, so I was really into maths. And then when it came to choosing what to do afterwards, I just had no clue what to do, and it never even crossed my mind that I could go into something like maths or science as a profession. And I don't know whether that was because I had some kind of perception that that wasn't a woman's field, but there was something there that made me think, well, I can't do that, well, what do I do? And I really had no idea. When I was coming to do my A-levels, I did pick some quite sciencey subjects, but then after that I thought, I don't really know where to go. And what actually happened was I had a life event that made that decision for me, because my mum became really poorly. She developed chronic lung conditions, emphysema, bronchitis, and she was really, really quite sick. And I was really worried about her, and I've always been of that kind of persuasion where I've always wanted to try and fix things and solve problems and make things happen. So when she kept going to the doctor and the doctor said, well, we can't help you, this is going to get worse and eventually you will die, I just said, no, that's not going to happen. So I ended up going to the library, which was a place I really enjoyed actually as a kid, and went to the complementary therapy section. And I thought, I'm just going to pick a book and I'm going to find something that cures my mother. And it could have been anything that I chose, but I chose a herbal medicine book, Western herbal medicine, picked it up, read it, thought about it, got on the phone and ordered some herbs, because we didn't do it on the internet then, it was a bit, that hadn't really happened. And I got her some thyme tea, just simple thyme, and I said, Mum, trust me, drink this, and if you keep drinking it, you might get better. And she did, which was quite, at the time, it was quite incredible. But her condition slowly improved, and we went back to the doctor, and the doctor was like, well, I can't explain this, but this happens sometimes, it's nothing to do with you, it's just happened. And I thought, right, okay, well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to study herbal medicine, that's going to be my degree, which was quite a challenge, because there were only 2 universities that offered that, and the first one refused me, because they didn't think I really wanted to do it, because I'd been so confused at the beginning about what to do, and it was a real last-minute choice. They had to put in a kind of appeal for me to get a place. But the other university luckily saw something in me and took me, and it was Preston. I ended up at the University of Central Lancashire. Very odd course. Studying herbal medicine is weird, because you do have lectures where you just sit and meditate. And that's kind of odd. But then at the same time you do lots of stuff about pharmacology and biology and anatomy, so there's a really odd mix, and I really enjoyed it. But I guess the reason I wanted to tell you this actually was because what I got from university wasn't so much the academic side of it. I mean, I did learn a lot, but I learned also really quickly that I didn't want to do that as a career. It just wasn't for me. It was interesting, but it wasn't where my passion was. And what I got from university more, I think, was mixing with people. It was about growing as a person, and it was about discovering what my real interests were. So that was how I ended up going from a herbal medicine degree into working in the voluntary sector, working with women, ending up working in a prison, kind of on this weird path that actually had nothing to do with herbs. But I think that's really key, because I think that's what learning's about. It's not always about the subject that you're learning, it's about the other things that you get. It's about the networking with other people, socialising, building friendships and discovering yourself. And that's why I think things like Women Leading Learning are so important, because it helps to bring that message across. The other thing that I wanted to say as well is I think it's well recognised that there are big differences between the way that women learn and the way that men learn. And I think there's a lot of evidence to say that women-only learning environments are really important. Obviously I would say that because we're a women-only centre and we're really proud of the work that we do here. But I think there are key differences. There's been studies that show that women just can't express themselves as easily in situations where men are there. And I'm sure there's many reasons for that. And if I was academic, I could probably explain it better. But I just know that it exists. And I was actually at an event yesterday. It was an event where we were discussing stuff around crime and policing. And I was on a table where there were 2 men, and then there was myself and 5 other women. And what was really interesting was that for 75% of the conversation it was 2 men speaking, and the rest of us didn't really say much. And I thought, this is really interesting. We're here kind of with our peers, and we're still finding it hard to talk. So I think in every situation there's a real need for women-only spaces. So I don't really want to say much more, because I know there's some other really inspirational people to come, but I just wanted to say that at the Women's Centre we're really keen to support this work. We've got a great working relationship with the WEA already. It really helps us, and it helps the women who come into the centre, and we do lots of different courses here and lots of different activities. So I hope you all have a fantastic day, and if you want to find out more about what we do, then come and see me or see one of the other staff here, and enjoy your day.
Thank you. It's really lovely to